Hey guys, Dan Young here with Dan's MillionaireCode podcast. It's been a little bit, but I've got some incredible friends and guests here today. I'm going to give you the bios on these guys are incredible. But we've got Todd Crosland here and Ben Crosland here. Father, son, right?
Yep.
Combo, business partners.
Yep.
And that's great to see. I hope my son walks in a little bit in my footsteps and does even more. Let me tell you a little about Todd. Todd is founder and CEO of CoinZoom, a global digital currencies brokerage firm. He's got an incredible team and a massive amount of experience as a CEO in financial trading. I'll talk about that. He was founder and CEO of Interbank FX, and a massive, massive platform. The annual trading volume, to give you an idea, reached $750 billion on that platform. So it was just immense. He's got tons of awards, Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year, all kinds of stuff, and a lot of experience, and it's really cool to see him pioneering with CoinZoom. And then you got a son, Ben, who's super genius as well, co-founder and head of the business dev for CoinZoom, and a super important part of the growth there. And he's landed some really large customers, Utah Jazz, which is huge. And I've been watching a lot what you guys have been doing there, incredible stuff there. So phenomenal to have you guys here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dan.
We both share our common enthusiasm for digital, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and those things. So maybe you can give me kind of a little bit of background from your experience building a $750 billion a year in annual volume company and how that segued into what you guys are made today.
Sure. Yeah. So we've been involved, as you said, in the regulated brokerage firm space for a couple of decades. And then Ben was working with a VC firm in Hawaii, actually, and then after he graduated, and then came back to Salt Lake. And as crypto was getting exciting in 2017, we looked at a lot of the similarities between the commodities and the FX space that we were in before with Interbank. And really the thought was if we could provide similar products and services that we did with Interbank, that we could launch, our own regulated crypto exchange and then attract some global customers, and that's what we did. So,
how long has it been now since you guys founded CoinZoom?
So we founded in 2018, and then we launched right as the pandemic started in March of 2020.
Oh, yes.
So it took about a year and a half to get all the regulatory approvals because we had to get the money transmitter licenses in all the states. Registered as a digital currency exchange in Australia, e-money license in Canada.
Wow.
And then just building out the iOS, Android app, the new matching engine, the order routing engine for the exchange, and then finally launched beginning of the pandemic in March of 2020. So
yeah, a lot of companies are kind of, a lot of their technology is off the shelf, whereas ours, Todd with our chief software architect, James Olson, he built the previous exchange for Interbank,
wow.
Which was getting liquidity from all the top, banks on Wall Street. Goldman Sachs, Citibank was the prime broker. All these banks were streaming FX liquidity to that platform, Interbank FX. So took the same approach where we built the whole thing ground up, proprietary. Then we hooked up to the largest market makers in the world. So Galaxy Digital, Genesis, Trading, Cumberland. Falcon X we just onboarded as a liquidity provider, so that's we built it the same way that they built Interbank. We built CoinZoom, and that was a lengthy process, but it's all proprietary. So
it's kind of interesting. Something that I've noticed in blockchain, you've got a lot of younger people that do startups but don't have a lot of business experience like you do have, and what you did, and that's the same thing I've noticed. We launched our Ugly Unicorn, hedge fund. And we talked a lot about security. And with computer security, I've been doing it for like 3 decades now, but it's not all that different. Really, that experience and those mistakes made over 30 years in identifying those protocols really applies. And it's kind of interesting. It feels like a lot of these successful projects have young innovation, right? Because you need that energy, but you also have veteran experience. And that's almost like the Mentos and Coke, right?
Yeah.
To make it so that it has sustainability, but also excitement as well.
Yeah.
So that's why you guys are a great team, man.
No, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
so you know, we went through the financial crisis of 2008. So in our previous, exchange, and so Lehman was a counterparty of ours, and we had 8 liquidity providers, and Lehman was one, and we get a call at midnight from Citibank and on a Sunday night telling us that Lehman's going bankrupt the next morning, and we're taking them out of your feed, and so we've kind of been there, done that, and weathered those storms, and I think it's helped because we really have a senior team of engineers that most of them came from the old exchange interbank, but years of experience in dealing with security, and it's even more with the bot attacks that we see, and the different attacks that each week or each day even, they're just busy 24/7. But it's good to have that experience on board.
I got a question for you. It's competitive in our market with computers and high-powered computing, and also in crypto hedge funds now. Very competitive in the exchange market, but you guys have some unique differentiators of why a lot of people are flocking into your application. You want to maybe explain to everybody how, like, what's better?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah. Yeah. So we didn't want to be just another exchange because there's obviously hundreds of exchanges globally, and we looked at the previous exchange with Interbank, and we had a really good partnership with Visa, and so we had a Interbank FX Visa debit card that you could access your trading account with your debit card. And customers really liked that, and so we went to Visa and we said, well, what if, as we build this exchange, customers could access their crypto with their debit card? And Visa
cool.
was just like all over it. And so we signed a global partnership with Visa. So we issue, if I can show that, this is the CoinZoom Visa debit card. So
Wow. That's the ultra super tier one too, right?
yeah, so that's so you go on the app and you want to spend Dogecoin or Shiba or Ethereum, Bitcoin. You go on the app and you just select what coin you want to spend, and you go to a Starbucks or anywhere and swipe your card, and you're just spending the crypto out of your wallet. So we thought that would be a nice differentiator because once you buy Bitcoin or crypto, what do you do with it? You can hold it, which is great, but what if you want it? You've got to pay rent, or what if you want to spend it? And, your Ethereum's up 10%, and you want to take a little off the table, you can just spend it on the card.
Or if you want to take advantage, we're also seeing with customers take advantage of tax loss harvesting. So they're having all these losses on their portfolio. Like, I'm going to take advantage of that, of tax loss harvesting.
That's
So
nice.
I'm going to spend on my Doge or Shiba or whatever to take advantage of that. So
Yeah.
That's pretty
that's
cool.
another
And
benefit
then
of the card.
I guess your software calculates everything so they can export it out and
Yep.
give it their CPA, and
Yeah.
it's all easy and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a statement, like a big statement.
Yeah, it prints that. So that was a real differentiator. Then it was important to create we're looking at really mass adoption because we've got customers in over 200 countries now.
Wow.
And so how do we, help foster mass adoption for crypto? And it was really, a good fiat on-ramp and off-ramp. So customers can onboard with, ACH, wires, direct deposit, obviously crypto,
Debit card, credit card.
credit card.
Nice.
And then they can also, we have a new partnership with about 200,000 plus locations in the U.S. where you can go into a Walgreens, Dollar General, GameStop, and give them $100 and show them your app, and you can deposit cash right to your
Oh, wow.
CoinZoom account.
Just charge it up?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So if you're getting a gallon of milk or you're filling up your we while you're at the cashier, you can just show them your barcode and put $20, and buy crypto instantly.
So essentially, we've made Walgreens and all these retail locations into like a crypto ATM, where they scan a barcode on their CoinZoom app, deposit cash, and then buy Bitcoin instantly.
You've covered all spectrum, so you're making it easy for people not familiar with crypto to be involved in it.
Yeah, the
That's the big
underbanked.
one, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's true, because it's really hard for a lot of people to get involved in crypto. It's
Yeah.
like cryptic, you know, to them. They're
Yeah.
like, what? I don't know why even bother. And so you guys have made it super simple.
Well, we think that, the next decade and even the next 5 years, our research is, the next 12 months, there'll be 15 million new participants in the U.S. that are going to buy crypto. And so, they hear about horror stories, forgot, the password to their laptop or their hardware device. And so how do we make it easy for the average user to be involved in this? And that was really our mission, is to have a really good fiat on ramp to deposit to your account. Then the same thing with getting money off your account. So if you want to spend your crypto, you can do that. Or say you've got a Chase Bank debit card, you can also withdraw right to that debit card in 5 seconds. And then that's just expanding globally to about 180 countries and over 3 billion debit cards. So you can withdraw from your CoinZoom account if you're in Singapore or Germany or Brazil. You can withdraw it right to your prepaid card or your
Wow.
debit card.
That's pretty cool.
So it's, instead of getting a wire and $25 wire fee, it's like just withdraw it to your own debit card. So we've really made that ecosystem friendly for getting money off the exchange. And then
That's huge.
Then another big differentiator, we have a really cool peer-to-peer payments system. So I can send you Bitcoin or Ethereum instantly for free, or USD instantly for free.
Free.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Venmo, you can send USD to your friends and for payments, and it's just only good in the U.S. But what we did is it's off-chain, and so as long as they have our app, if you've got a grandmother in Mexico City, you can send her $100 in USD, and then she can withdraw it right to her own prepaid or debit card. So
Well, that's easy.
so if you think
That's
of
cool.
like Western Union, MoneyGram, that 4 or 5%, you've got to go down fees that they charge, and you've got to go down to the Western Union store. I mean, so this peer-to-peer global network that we created, along with all these other features, it really helps the whole ecosystem.
It's pretty instant, right? You just
Yeah.
whoop, and you can download that app globally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very
That's offered.
Yeah,
everywhere.
200 countries.
wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
You guys are cranking, man.
And also just going along with CoinZoom Cash. So that's what's interesting about CoinZoom Cash is no other exchange out there is doing that right now. We're gonna expand it internationally. So if someone has a grandmother in Mexico and it's a 80% cash economy.
Yeah.
A lot of people deal with cash. So he can send the Bitcoin. She can sell it on CoinZoom on her app, and then she can go to her local retailer store that she trusts, and scan a barcode, get cash out.
Wow.
So kind of like we call it like the complete crypto experience, where
That's pretty
people
cool.
can really use it in their daily lives. So
That's big.
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a different type of question. So Todd, you've got a lot of experience in currency of all types, right? And now in digital currency. What's the biggest landmine in your career that you've stepped on, and what did you learn? And the reason is we have a lot of entrepreneurs or people who want to start their own company, whether it's in blockchain or whatever. I'd like to hear what that experience is, maybe the advice, a couple pieces of advice that you would give from your experience.
Boy, a lot of landmines. A lot of landmines.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty optimistic guy, and I think to lead a team, it's like, so the financial crisis with our previous company, it was actually kind of a windfall for business because the trading volume went through the roof. During the this is 2008, but so Citibank was our prime broker, and we held most of customer funds at Citibank. And when Lehman went bankrupt, we didn't have any exposure financially to Lehman, but it just sent a shock through the financial world. And so we were thinking we dodged a bullet. Then Citibank stock went down to like 80 cents, and then it's like, wow, if Citibank goes under, then we're really going to be in trouble.
Oh yeah,
Holding on to
terrible.
customer funds.
And Yeah, and so, I think the thought, what we had then is that we need to diversify from, just one prime broker. So we had Goldman Sachs and Deutsche Bank and Citibank. So, especially like in the crypto space with banking, you can't have too many banking friends. And so we really tried to diversify risk with having, multiple sources of banking and multiple sources, for technology and backup and
That's wise.
yeah, because you just never know.
Yeah.
Redundancy.
Yeah,
In the
redundancy.
in the
And
computer business,
your
it's been
business,
that way.
you're all about that.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and that's something we've put into like the fund as well. You need really a lot of redundancy on security,
Yep.
and funding, and all those things.
Yeah, and we have with the security so we use qualified custodians to hold our crypto, and then we have various levels of how many signers to move assets from a warm wallet to the cold wallet to a hot wallet, which is more like the petty cash. And so it's
Nobody can
There's
launch the
lots
nuke
of-
with one key turn, right?
That's right.
It takes a lot of keys.
it takes at least three of us to do anything that's significant. So
That's smart. As we do similar stuff.
Yeah.
So this is landmine experience we've got.
Yeah.
When you have a single point of failure, life is hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right? For any business.
And I think the other landmines are regulatory. So after 2008, we saw Dodd-Frank, and they just threw mud at the wall to see what they threw everything at the wall as far as regulatory in the different financial markets, and so as we started this, a lot of exchanges, founded in islands I've never heard of around the world, that don't have a regulatory. We thought, well, we're going to do this. We need to do it right, and so we went the regulatory, route, which is more expensive and takes a lot more time.
A lot, yeah.
But I think that pays dividends down the road, and to get serious investors and institutions to trade with you, I think they want to deal with a regulated entity. So
You have two types of people entering the crypto space, like I was saying. You got a lot of really smart young people that are crypto bros and girls, and they're starting these things, but they tend to miss a lot of the infrastructure. I shopped, I think, 12 other crypto funds, and a lot of them don't have basic security protocol. They're not even registered correctly with the SEC.
Wow.
They're just kind of like, hey, let's just come up with this thing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to it on the back end. I think the back end is, if not more important, just the front end marketing, because there's a lot of marketing. I call it Vegas type of hype in crypto, and that you go to Vegas, it looks like Paris, but behind it, it's like drywall, and it's not really Paris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this cloak and dagger stuff going on.
Well, I think with your fund, what's unique is that nothing against 20-somethings. So, but
you gotta
but
have
they
your
would
20-somethings.
start with a fund or an idea. You have a few decades of like real world technology experience and phenomenal success, and then you've embraced this new digital economy as well. And so I think marrying the discipline that you've had in your successful business to what you're doing with the fund is what really sets you apart.
The majority of our investors are over 40.
Yeah.
And most of them hold massive real estate and equity holdings.
Yeah.
So our thesis was like, okay, how do we get that group of people to feel comfortable? It's kind of like what you're doing with CoinZoom. How do you get those people who have the most money in America to feel comfortable to engage blockchain?
Yeah.
And so you get, and those people, like, they've stepped on a lot of landmines, so they're
Yeah.
looking for all the
Yep.
key factors. Okay, you guys
Yeah.
know what you're doing. So that's cool. I think your platform's gonna just rock it. Can you share any secrets, or maybe not secrets, the stuff you guys have on your roadmap that people can look forward to? You always got stuff in the oven. What you can share.
Go ahead, Ben.
No, yeah, I mean, so we launched the partnership with the Jazz,
That's rad.
and so that's been a really unique experience, and it was early fall last year that we started talking, and they were looking for a crypto partner, and they were thinking like, oh, maybe we should go reach out to Gemini, but then Ryan Smith's like, no, we want to do local. I'm like, that's something we love about Ryan. Is he just loves dealing with local companies. So
Utah.
exactly. So yeah, we met with them, and they just talked about how they wanted to embrace crypto and integrate crypto into their ecosystem, and so we got talking, and then then they want to do NFTs. And so something unique about CoinZoom is we've kind of built this robust fiat on ramp and off ramp, and so we now created an NFT marketplace where you can utilize that same easy fiat gateway on and off ramp for NFTs. And so we initially wanted to launch that NFT marketplace with a partner, and that ended up being the Jazz. And so right now it's really easy for your average Jazz fan. They don't know what a MetaMask wallet is, they don't know what a Trust wallet is, but they have a credit card and they want to buy this Jazz collectibles. So
you guys got it
really
down.
easy for them. Yeah.
The secret, I believe, was the integration of Web 2 and Web 3.
Yeah.
Because just hopping into Web 3, right, is like, what?
Yeah.
It's shocking for people.
Yeah.
But you guys have bridged that, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so
Genius.
since that, I mean, so many different organizations and probably like 20 to 25 different sports teams around the world and sports leagues have reached out, and they want they want to do the same thing. They want that fan engagement. They want the ease of use of getting their collectibles, these NFTs. And so there are a lot of conversations going on at the moment, but you'll be seeing some future partnerships in the future. So
Excited.
Yeah.
I want to leave the guests, because we have a lot of crypto enthusiasts and people that don't know anything about crypto that are trying to learn here. I want two pieces of advice. I want experiential Master Jedi advice, like one big thing you get to tell these guys and girls out there. And I want like young, fiery Jedi, wisdom as well. Just one thing that you'll leave the viewers with that they can take action on.
So, yeah, that's great. So, I remember I got a call from one of the private banking officers we deal with at Zions Bank, and she called and says, my husband and we want to invest in Dogecoin. So this is last year, and so so you get this hysteria, and they watch the news or social media, and so. So my advice, I said, so if Wendover is too far away, and you want to put some of your risk capital into some of these speculative assets, then I would do it. But I think the lesson would be, even if you've seen UST and even Luna coin this last week, so $40 billion in value disappeared. So there's risk. So I would say super exciting space that we've embraced fully, but it's still risk capital.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you want to do your homework and to not put all your eggs in one basket. And if you want to invest in a stable coin, make sure it's a real stable coin. And then but core holdings, if you look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of these other great coins and projects, we think the next decade they have great potential. But this isn't you get a mortgage on your house to invest in this market. This is still risk capital, but it's it's important to diversify, and diversifying into this asset class for the next decade, I think is going to pay great dividends. So
For sure.
Yeah.
That's great advice. Thank you. Appreciate that. What you mean?
Yeah,
What's the Young Buck Super Jedi?
I think just kind of, I guess, as an entrepreneur and kind of that mindset, I think 2018. This is kind of when we started and started getting the company together and building it, and kind of like during that first crypto winter is pretty discouraging. And I had a lot of friends and people tell me like, oh, like crypto, it's dead, after the initial FOMO of Bitcoin tanked, and everyone's like, "Oh, crypto's dead. Like, why are you, getting into crypto?" And like, "Oh, that's there's no future in that." And so it was a little bit discouraging, just kind of like, and we, we're heads down building out, the platform and everything, and then we launched March 2020, and then obviously market exploded, and we onboarded a few 100,000 customers, and so it's just like you'll start with an idea, and there's opportunity there, but you'll have naysayers and people that are going to doubt you and tell you that it's not going to work out, but just like put your head down, build, build something valuable, and then the opportunity will arise. So
What's a technique that both you guys use? I'd like to hear this last piece here. I know I get a lot of people that really like what I do and they think it's cool, and then I get some crazy trolls sometimes. I won't share my technique till after, but I'd love to hear your guys' technique to try to keep focused on the target, no matter all the naysayers, the haters. What's some stuff you do psychologically to temper that?
Yeah, I think just focus on your goal, and I think you with the team that you build, you got to be positive with the team, and I mean if leadership gets discouraged and negative, then that affects everybody. So I think just keep focused on what you're doing, and there is noise out there that you'll hear and different things, but I think as long as you're focused on your objective, I think you'll be fine. So
yeah. And I feel like you get more naysayers like as you start to have success and like start to kind of grow, you'll get more naysayers, and so like to me it's kind of like, oh, that means I'm doing it right. Like this is good that this is coming in, because like I know I'm like getting closer to my goals because of that. So
I got
like
massive hate in 2014 from a lot of people when I built the giant Bitcoin mining facility here in Utah, and they're like, "You're just crazy." And I had like people, even some employees, filing complaints. "Oh, our CEO is psychotic. Oh, he's just all that's all he can talk about all day." And then I'm just keep plodding along, do your thing, and you got your other diversified business opportunities.
Just remind them what the price of Bitcoin is now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what's funny, here's one last funny thing about crypto, and I want you guys. There's this girl named Corey. She's actually our president's wife, and our president hired him 10 years ago, and I sent her on a coffee run, and I sent her crypto to go get some coffee. This is in 14.
Yeah.
Decent amount of crypto. I'm like, hey, go get us coffee for everybody. So she took her own money and bought our Starbucks for us, right? And she sent me a text message like about a year ago. She's like, oh my gosh, a screenshot of what her crypto was worth. And she was like, this is life changing.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And that's what, like 8 years,
Yeah.
7, 8 years patience though. It's weird what 7, 8 years can do. And people they seem to have gotten this short-term mentality when it comes to equities, real estate, crypto, anything. But the one rule that a lot of people agree with, and I want to get your opinion on this, Todd, is if you're 5 years patient in stocks, crypto, real estate, anything, if you're 5 years patient, you're not stressed about it,
Yeah.
you got a decent chance of coming out okay.
Yeah.
Right. 5 years.
Yeah, I agree. And I think in this market in 5 years it'll be, it could be similar to what happened between 14 and now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's going to be, inflation, we see that's rampant globally, and there's just so much opportunity here. We think that the next 5 to 10 years are going to be pretty amazing for this space. So
I believe so too.
yeah.
Where can people find you guys? Best place to find CoinZoom and you guys, or what's the best place to steer everybody?
Yeah, so CoinZoom.com or the Apple Store. We have 2 apps: CoinZoom, CoinZoom Pro app. Google Play.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. So
All right. I'll tag you guys too,
Yeah,
as
cool.
well as the CoinZoom. I do a lot of Instagram, but we'll tag you on all our platforms. And,
Great.
Cool.
You guys should just check it out and see what they're about. Look at some of the
Yeah.
differentiators.
yeah, get your CoinZoom card.
Yeah, I
spend your
gotta get me
crypto.
one of those.
You can earn 5% back when you spend.
We bought
on your
burgers with
crypto.
that
That's
card,
right.
didn't we? Yeah,
That's right.
And it was instant. Blip.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, guys. I appreciate you
Hey,
coming
thanks,
on.
Dan.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
Thank
sir.
you, Dan. Thanks.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. This podcast, this education here, there's a few things that we require you to do. One is you don't have to send us money. We're not asking for money. But one thing is execute. All right, definitely execute what you learned here. Two, the second thing is if you make profit from maybe some of the knowledge here that you've executed, take 10% of that, give that to a great charity. I like Operation Underground Railroad. I think Tim's awesome. We're always plugging him down there. And then third thing is share this on your social media so we can help more people. That's the only fee you need to pay. You've been watching Dan's Millionaire Code podcast. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you guys next week.